Good morning, students. Here we are going to discuss poem Lakshman by Toru Dutt. So that's a very small video on the poem so that you'll be able to understand the summary of the poem. So let us start. Toru Dutt's Lakshman is one of her most celebrated poems from the collection Ancient Ballads. That's the name, please remember the collection. That's the Ancient Ballads, right? Ancient Ballads and Legends of Hindustan. You just have to remember this title. That's the Ancient Ballads and Legends of Hindustan 1882. Please remember this when you write summary of the poem. So that's the part of Ancient Ballads and Legends of Hindustan. Now it captures a tense, pivotal moment from the Indian epic, the Ramayana. So that is Lakshman's in the poem Lakshman that captures a tense, pivotal moment from the Indian epic, the Ramayana, because that's very important part of Ramayana. In this poem what happens with Lakshman and Sita, that is the main reason, that's the pivotal, that's the base of Ramayana, we can say. So here we can say the comprehensive breakdown of the poem. First, overview. The poem is written as a dramatic dialogue. Please remember this literary term also. That is a dramatic dialogue between Sita and Lakshman. Sita and her brother-in-law Lakshman. So that is the dramatic dialogue in the form of poem. It focuses on the scene where Ram has gone into the forest to hunt the golden deer, and a deceptive cry for help, mimicked by the demon Maricha, echoes through the woods. This is the important point where Ramayana takes place actually, where war between that, which is the reason between war between Lord Ram and Ravan. So what happened that this poem focuses on the scene where Ram has gone into the forest, right? So Ram leaves Sita in the kutia, in the small home, muddy home that is in the forest, right? They made in the forest, and Ram goes to hunt the golden deer, and that is on demand also. So that Ram goes for hunting golden deer, and a deceptive cry, so that when Ram, in the absence of Ram, there is a cry, deceptive cry for help, right? So that cry, help, 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 someone was uh, crying, right? So that's a mimicked by demon Maricha. So that is done by demon Marich, but that is not Ram's cry. Ram was not crying for help. Demon Marich was crying, and that is the deceptive cry, right? So echoes through the woods. So Sita listens that someone is crying, help, help. So Sita becomes uh, panic, and she demands for Lakshman that, so just go and help my husband Ram. This happens. As far as this poem's Lakshman, that is of course written by a pioneer of Indian Anglican poetry, Toru Dutt, right? She is the author, and source based on the Ramayana. This plot she has taken from Ramayana, and structure 22 lines, right? Poem is of 22 lines, 8 lines each, right? So this way, this is the structure. And then ra- rhyme scheme is AB, AB, CC, DD. You should remember, right? So that's a AB, AB 4, then CD, CC, and DD 4. And this way, 8 lines, right? So that's a 8 lines each. That's a stanza. 22 stanza. So 22 multiply by 8. So there are 20, 88, right, lines in this poem. That is in dialogue form. Now summary. So the cry for help. The poem opens with Sita hearing a scream that sounds exactly like her husband Ram. So when she listens scream, so she thinks that Ram is calling. Terrified. She is terrified, and she implores Lakshman to run to his aid. So she forces Lakshman to go and help uh, his brother Ram, right? However, Lakshman remains calm. But Lakshman is the brother, Ram's brother. He remains calm and refuses to move. He says, "No, mother Sita, I can't leave you. I am I am tasked, I am ordered not to leave you. Bhaiya told me not to leave Sita for a single moment. So sorry, I cannot go anywhere leaving you alone in this forest." He knows that Ram is a divine warrior, right? Brother Lakshman very well aware about his elder brother Ram, especially Ram. He is a divine warrior and believes no mortal or demon could truly harm him. And he has trust on his confidence, right, on his brother that no, my beliefs, no mortal or demon could truly harm my brother. So he makes little argue with Sita that mother Sita, I can't leave you alone in this forest because uh, I am ordered by my brother not to leave Sita for a single moment, right? So I can't, I am compelled to, I am uh, compelled to do my duty. I can't leave you this way. So this is the first part. So that's a cry for help. Now second one is the conflict of duty. Because why conflict? Because if he is with Sita, then he is ignoring his brother Ram's cry, and if he goes, he is violating his brother's order, right? So what to do? He is in dilemma. Lakshman is in dilemma. What to do? He can't leave Sita, and he can't ignore his brother's cry. So that is the conflict of duty. So Sita grows increasingly frenetic. Sita loves her brother in law like anything. But here, as she listens, help, 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 this voice, so she grows increasingly frenetic. So she becomes mad, she is panic, and because of anger, she accuses Lakshman of being cold hearted. And then she says that how much cold hearted you are. She allegates Lakshman, and she says that even suggests a dark motive. And she in anger, she says that you have a dark motive, that he secretly wishes for Ram's death. That's a very big allegation. Sita speaks to Ram. Sita says, you have secretly wishes for Ram's death. So you can take her for himself or inherit the, so that you can become the prince of, you have become the lord of or kingdom, you can inherit the kingdom. So these allegations are given by Sita to Lakshman, and it's a very big allegation. You want to kill my brother. You want to inherit the kingdom. You want to be crowned, right? But Lakshman listens each and everything. He thinks that no, I can't disobey my brother. I am, uh, I am forced to obey, like this is a very tender situation and I can't leave my mother, and mother Sita does not understand the tricky or the what we can say plot conspiracy of demons, so I can't leave. Now in third part of the poem, Lakshman's defense. Deeply wounded by Sita's harsh words, he is wounded actually. He feels that how my mother Sita can think this way for me. It's very big. These allegations are not so not ignorable. These are so serious allegations are imposed by Sita, but so he he explains his orders. He says that Ram strictly commanded him. I am commanded by Ram. He strictly commanded him not to leave Sita alone for a single moment. How can I leave you alone and something goes wrong with you? Then again, I can't forgive me, and my I can't. I will not be able to reply to my brother. So he has to drink all allegations, and he argues that the cry was mockery. He says, no, Maya, no, mother, it's not Ram's cry. This is mockery. This is demon's conspiracy or a magic snare. That's a magic snare. That's a snare is being spreaded by the demons, created by giants, rakshasas. एक जाल बिछाया जा रहा है to lure him away from her, and that is to lure him so that I will leave you alone, and then demons will take advantage of it. You should understand, mother, this is all conspiracy. But the departure. Unable to bear Sita's cruel accusations, right? So that Sita, one after the another, Sita accuses Lakshman, and finally there is no solution. So Lakshman decides he must go because Sita is not listening to Lakshman. So now he says, okay, mother, I'll take care of my brother. I will search where is my brother. Even though his instinct tell him it is a trap, he his instinct tells that this is the plotting against Sita and Ram, and he knows that this is just magic's there, right? And we all are in the trap. but he can't do anything before Sita. And before leaving, he draws a protective circle around the hut. So he make Lakshman Rekha around the hut, right? So here in this hut, he makes one Lakshman Rekha, which is very famous in the Ramayana. So he creates one protective circle that is called Lakshman Rekha, and prays to God of the forest to protect her. And he prays to God of forests, so protect my mother. Key themes: destiny and irony. Themes are: first, destiny and irony. The poem highlights the tragic irony where Sita's love for Ram leads her to insult his most loyal protector, because Sita's love for Ram, and she questions on her most loyal protector Lakshman, who, because of Sita and Ram, who has left his home, newly wedded wife, right? And he sacrifice his life also. And for 14 years he is with Ram and Sita, but directly causing her own abduction. And then he is questioned. Sita questions, Sita allegates. So that is what to say. That is the destiny and irony. So this is the theme which is captured by Toru Dutt. Number two, that is the power of words, right? That's the power of word. It explores how, while words can pierce deeper than sword, when she says uh, how what we can say that the pointed words which are spoken by Sita to Ram, Lakshman, and that's a pierce deeper than sword, very tough, right? So that's a words are sometime mightier than the sword, right? So that's the words are very what we can say that mm, piercing words spoken by Sita. So that is the power of words, and that is why Lakshman ji is compelled to leave Sita. So Lakshman is more hurt by Sita's suspicion. Sita's suspicion how my mother suspect on me than by any physical enemy. That is more dangerous. That's a physical enemy is demon or anyone one can. But my mother, Sita, Sita's suspicion. So he hurt. Lakshman is hurt. So that is next theme which is covered here. Now, gender and virtue. Sita is portrayed as the emotional, impulsive force, right? So that's the gender and virtue. Emotional, impulsive force, right? While Lakshman represents stoic duty, dharma, and logic. So gender and virtue, because he is male, Sita is female. So Sita is portrayed as the emotional and impulsive force, while Lakshman represent stoic duty. So both are, Sita is worried about her husband, and Lakshman is uh, compelled to obey mother Sita and brother Ram. So they are performing their duties, right? So that's a law, dharma. They were bound with their dharma. Now, next theme, nature as a witness. That uses vivid imagery of the Indian forest to create a sense of impending doom, right? So that is nature as a witness. That is, nature has seen that, and then nothing can be done. So that uses vivid imagery, right, in Indian forests to create a sense of impending doom, that sometime uh, our mind does not work, and that time Sita was not listening to uh, her brother-in-law. So these are the different themes. Now, critical analysis. Toru Dutt's vision, critical analysis. Toru Dutt's version is unique because of its psychological depth. This is a actually very beautiful poem, while the original epic focuses on the action, but that focuses on, this is very important, on raw emotion and bitter exchange between the two characters, Ram and Lakshman. So Torudat discusses the raw emotion and bitter exchange between the two characters. Now, the poem captures the transition from a peaceful forest life to the chaos, right? So they were living peacefully, right? And all of a sudden there is chaos. That follows Sita's character is humanized. So Sita is behaving like a human being. Otherwise, she's a goddess, right? So she's not just a silent goddess. She is a woman driven. She's a woman driven, a frenzy by fear, showing that human vulnerability. This is human vulnerability. We become panic, right? We have fear, but goddess does not have. So this is the another part which was captured by Toru Dutt. So here you can remember this line. He calls, it is my husband's voice. This is the line you can remember, you can add. And is this a time for delay? And she questions on Lakshman. She asks that is this the time for delay? Go, Lakshman, go. She compels to leave and search her husband. These opening lines immediately set the frantic pace of poem, right? Contrasting Sita's short, breathless exclamations with Lakshman's long, measured explanation. He gives explanation, but Sita is not listening. So these words you can remember, and then you can make your notes on the basis of this text, right? And so actually, and here you must have got a gist, that's a dialogue between Lakshman and Sita in this poetry, and where poem starts with, he calls, it is my husband's voice, right? Is this time for delay? And he makes argue with Lakshman, and he allegates, and there is a very bitter conversation. And there is a bitter exchange between Lakshman and Sita. Lakshman is not ready to but Sita makes him compel, and finally he has to go. And then Ravan takes advantage and Sita is taken by Ram, right? So that is the cause. That's a moment for some moment, and then these moment that everything is done. So this is the summary of poem Lakshman. So thank you so much. God bless you.